Ecclesiastes 3:8 says, "A time to love and a time to hate, a time of war and a time of peace." And what I want to preach on is the world's shortest sermon on hate. There are a lot of people out there who believe that we as Christians should love everybody no matter what, and that hating anyone is a sin. But that's not true. Now, you can't go around hating everyone because the Bible says a time to love. But at the same time, you can't go around loving everybody because the Bible also says a time to hate. But how do we know when it's acceptable to hate someone and when it's acceptable to love someone? Well, look what the Bible says in Psalm 139, verse 21. It says, "Do not I hate them, O Lord, that hate thee, and am not I grieved with those that rise up against thee?" The Bible says, "Do not I hate them," in Psalm 139, verse 21. Hating them, that's not just hating their action. That's hating the person. But when is it okay to hate a person? That hate thee. Do not I hate them, O Lord, that hate thee. We're supposed to hate people that hate God. We're not supposed to hate people that hate us personally. We're supposed to hate God's enemies. Because in Luke 6:27, Jesus said, "But I say unto you which hear, love your enemies, do good to them which hate you." Notice what Jesus said there. He didn't say do good to them which hate God. He said do good to them which hate you. If someone scuffs your shoe, lies on you, steals something from you, you're not supposed to hate that person. But if someone hates God, that's when it's acceptable to hate that person, because it says, "Do not I hate them, O Lord, that hate thee." Now, there are a lot of Christians who will come back at me and say, well, it's love the sinner but hate the sin. But guess what? That quote is not in the Bible anywhere. That quote was invented by Gandhi, who is a Hindu who rejected Jesus Christ and died and went to hell. You do not want to be quoting someone like that. The Bible says, "Add not thou unto his words." We're supposed to just go with God's words. Jesus said to love our enemies, but we're not supposed to love God's enemies. Now, there are people out there who will say, well, God never hates people. God only hates actions. Well, if you look at Psalm 5, verse 5, it says, "The foolish shall not stand in thy sight. Thou hatest all workers of iniquity." A worker of iniquity, that's talking about the person who hates God. That's not talking about the action itself. And if you read Romans chapter 1, you see people that hate God are people such as homosexuals, pedophiles, rapists, serial killers. These are people that hate God, and we are supposed to hate those people. We're supposed to have nothing to do with them and let God's judgment be upon them. "Vengeance is mine, I will repay, saith the Lord." So, there's people out there who will still say, well, I just love everybody no matter what. But you got to understand, the Bible does say a time to hate. Think about it this way. Would you look a woman in the eye and tell her that she should love her rapist? Obviously, that'd be a ridiculous and unholy thing to say. Would you look someone in the eye who's raped and killed your wife and tell them that you love them? Obviously, you would not. So why create this artificial standard that we should love everyone when God doesn't love everybody? God sends people to hell for rejecting him every single day because the Bible says a time to love and a time to hate.